The way that you answer this question can predict if you are on the autism spectrum. So the reason for this is because autism spectrum disorders typically have a slightly different form of thinking than a neurotypical person. So autism spectrum disorders are more associated with system 2 thinking, which is deliberate, logical, and slower, over system 1 thinking, which is more intuitive and faster, and that is typically the thinking style that is more common in neurotypical individuals. So I'm going to give you the question, and I don't want you to take too long to answer, but I want you to watch what your mind does. So if you have that inclination to really slow down and to really take your time to answer this question, and if you answer it correctly, which I will give you the answer at the end, then you may have a proclivity more towards autism spectrum. That is not to say that you have autism, but this is a question that is used sometimes when attempting to diagnose autism spectrum disorders because it can be indicative of a certain type of thinking style. So the question is, a bat and a ball cost $1.10 in total. The bat costs $1 more than the ball. How much does the ball cost? So you can pause here, have a think, and if you answered 10 cents, that is wrong. So it is not 10 cents, that's what I thought as well, but the answer is actually 5 cents. And it would require you to think more deliberately about the answer because most of us will answer this in a very intuitive way. But if you understand the phrasing and the math behind the question, then you can answer in a more slow, deliberate way and you can actually get it correctly. So if you don't use that system 1 process, you're not going to answer in that intuitive way, and you're probably more using that system 2 process. And it just is indicative that your mind works more in that slow, deliberate, logical way that does tend to map a little bit more onto the autism spectrum disorder way of thinking. Again, doesn't mean you have autism, but could indicate some type of proclivity.